Hello, my name is Hilda Hidalgo, and I work for Universidad Autonoma de Hidalgo, and today I'm presenting on behalf of my colleagues who have been working on a research project for the last 2 or 3 years. And the title of our presentation is Using Genre Pedagogy to Help Transnational Students Improve Their Writing Skills. I think last year we shared with you the first stage of this research, and this year we are presenting the second phase of this project. So this is the outline of our presentation. I'm going to be talking about the introduction, the literature review, the methodology, the results, and the conclusion. Well, as you know, transnationalism is a recent topic in our country, and transnational students refer to those students who either were born in the USA or moved here and returned to Mexico. These students face different difficulties or obstacles as a result of this transition from one country to another. And the purpose of our study is to design an education and intervention program that helps the students improve their writing skills, because we have noticed that sometimes their performance is low due to this reason. Different scholars have focused on different aspects of transnational students, and they have covered different areas. For example, Tasselowski analyzed the transition of students from one education to another. Kral and Castillo have focused on curriculum struggles that students face as a result of this transition, of course. Crawford, Moore, and Lenguas focus on report some linguistic difficulties transnational students faced in terms of writing, but related to their identity. Zuniga et al. Also reports on the learning difficulties that these students face, because, as we know, the curriculum of these systems, educational systems, are different, and students struggle mainly with courses such as history and Spanish, because even though they may speak the language back home in the USA, I mean with their parents, these students haven't taken any formal courses in Spanish. And Tasselowski also has reported some difficulties students face in terms of their writing skills. So, drawing on these previous studies, we conducted a qualitative study, and we have called it a modified version of action research, because we were not the teachers of these students. We worked in a public university in our state, in Hidalgo, and we contacted this university, and then English coordinator helped us to identify the students that had either lived in the USA when they were kids, or they had they were born there. So just 3 of them were identified, and they agreed to participate in this study. So for 2 months, we conducted this intervention, and we ran 6 sessions with them. And using genre pedagogy, we decided to focus on the 5-paragraph essay, because these students haven't, or they don't take English at this school. However, they were interested in learning about this type of text. So we conducted an initial interview with them to find out about their previous experience studying in the USA. And then we also asked about their experiences coming back to Mexico and studying English and Spanish, of course, and some other academic aspects. And then we started with the training sessions. With them, we explained what an essay was. But before that, we had them write a 5-paragraph essay. We provided them with a prompt, and they wrote a 5-paragraph essay without receiving or any instruction. We then run the training sessions with them. We explain what a paragraph essay is or what, and we also did some linguistic analysis with them to help them go through some words or phrases that could help them organize their ideas, because that is something that they also reported that they have difficulties with. After that, we carried out self-assessment and peer assessment to help them improve their text, because after the instruction, we asked them to write a second draft. Okay, so on this second draft, the students received some feedback from their peers, and they also carried out this self-assessment of their own paper. And at the end of these sessions, we did a final interview to ask them about the experience and so on. And with this data collected, we we conducted a content analysis to analyze it. So mainly what we found was that students realized that they were capable of writing in English, even though they haven't practiced this skill for a long time after returning to Mexico. As probably it happens in other contexts, these students are not asked to take English anymore because they already know the language, they know how to speak. So they told us that they were not taking English anymore at university, but they realized that even though they have not practiced the writing skill, they were able to write the essay when we asked them to do it. So for example, Jennifer said, I learned that each paragraph needs consist of the topic, sentence, and the supporting sentence, and transitional words, and so on. So she's referring to the whole process of writing this essay. And actually, she was not unfamiliar with this essay. She shared with us that she had practiced this type of text back in the USA. Of course, another major finding was that the use of genre analysis helped students to identify the rhetorical structure of the essay. Of course, they were not aware of this term, but they said, for example, it was easier because we had like certain steps that we have to follow or that had to be in the paragraphs. So again, Jennifer makes reference to the steps or the elements, the pattern that a 5-paragraph essay follows. So the other students also found this very helpful when writing the 5-paragraph essay. And finally, as I mentioned, we conducted a linguistic analysis with them, and they found this activity useful as well, because they said that the linguistic analysis of these features helped them improve the organization of the text, which, as I said, that has been one of the major issues that we have identified among transnational students. In a previous study that we conducted with our own students at the BA, in which the three of us teach, we have found that transnational students struggle with organizing their ideas. And by doing this, by making use of genre pedagogy, can help the students, work on this, on the organization of the texts. So Rose said, for example, I think yes, because sometimes you have an idea, you have like different ideas, and you don't know how to connect them and make it like your paragraphs have sense. So yes, I think it helped. Of course, here Rose is referring to this linguistic analysis. So by being aware of these connectors, phrases, little phrases, Odysseus phrases that we taught them explicitly, help her organize their text better, and she found this very useful. So as a conclusion, we can say that genre analysis has been very useful to help students, transnational students, improve their writing, because they become aware of they have become aware of the rhetorical structure of the essay. They use words such as the pattern, the structure, the steps, and those, of course, make reference to the use of these genre analysis that we use, and that we try to use, at these two different levels, as scholars have recommended or suggested. The macro level, where we went through the rhetorical structure of an essay, we explain, teach, stage, and the purpose, the function of each one of them, so they could better understand the genre. And we, with this study, even though the sample is very small, but as I told you, we have done a similar study with our own students. In that case, they were 7. We have found similar results. And we also finished another study with 3 other transnational students in a different context in our state, in Hidalgo. And so these, small studies have shown that, and we expect that this study is useful for teachers like us, because we can help students, transnational students, improve their writing skills, And so these are some of our references that we have used, and our contact details in case you are interested or want to reach us out. So thank you very much, and that's it.